He fucking is. Now I'm recording, you know what I mean? I wasn't fucking recording, mate, and now I am. I fucking got a buzz on, you know what I mean? Because the stuff we were doing before I was recording there was fucking gold, but now it's fucking even better. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Dude, I found that thing. Check this out.
Yeah.
If every single word I said is gonna make you laugh, if every song I sing to you will feel how a joy you're more hang. How long? Forever.
Possess.
I asked you sketch what we had, if we had, where we had, the love I had for you is gonna live inside your heart, it's gonna hang.
Live studio audience finds it hilarious.
Oh, they love it. Slightly racist.
Oh, yeah. Is he dressed like a genie, kind of?
Yeah, he's a genie, yeah. He might even be a bit yellowed up, kind of.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
And then it's like, if I recall,
Yeah, I'm not sure.
if I recall what happens, like for everybody listening who's following this Stamos Forever like story that we're weaving together or piecing together,
Yeah.
like I have not seen the show since the 90s. So this is all like my own memory forming what happened here. But if
Yeah.
I recall, like he gets signed to a major label.
Yeah.
You know, all as we know from Wayne's World and everything else,
Never works
always
out.
never works out.
Benjamin.
Yeah. So he does that, and then they convince him to do a rap version of Forever. And then basically, you know, it ends with him being like, you know what? Like, I don't need this record contract. I'm going back to like what I believe in, which is rock and roll.
Yep. That's kind of like what happened. That's what happens on that show. We've not really talked about Chesapeake Shores too much, that Hallmark show that I was watching.
No, yeah.
Like with very similar. Every time a major label gets involved with musicians, it doesn't work out on shows, does it?
No, it does
Because
not.
we're talking about the common conception of what creativity is versus like corporate greed and like bottling, like a genie would, bottling creativity for the masses. And every time it shows up in a TV show, it's some suits not understanding, you know, the essence of music. In essence,
I don't know how exactly, like in these shows, like where they think all the music comes from that has ever been released. Because
well, it's like you've said before. It's like when you speak to people as a musician, and I want to get one thing straight right now.
Yeah, go for it.
This is Impossible Way of Life, a show brought to you by two musicians, okay? Not journalists. We're not journalists. No. We're not standing on the outside looking in through the goldfish bowl.
No.
We're not civilians here.
No.
This isn't the kind of Bond civilians can understand. This is musicians talking about music.
And we're not talking about the bond between us, although we are, but we're also talking about the bond between us and our listeners who are musicians who understand what we're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. This isn't some guys talking about music, you know, pitchforkian style in a bar with their suits on, naming like Low was the best David Bowie record just because they can, or Scary Monsters or whatever. This is people who listen to this show and us who actually play music discernibly and, you know, understand
it and feel it.
And feel it. And it's an impossible way of life. You know?
Don't just
Metal
hear it,
machine
feel
music.
It.
Don't care. You
when
know?
I listen to Low, you know what I do?
What?
Pick up a guitar, learn how to play it right away.
You know, actually, I was jamming yesterday with my band.
Kind of hard to play on guitar, some of those tunes.
Well, it's oblique strat. I don't know if they're really playing guitar too much.
Sound and Vision, I could do that on guitar.
Yeah. Not Warsaw, though. I don't know.
Maybe not.
That's kinda, I don't know if that's really a guitar song. But, I think that these kind of shows, Full House and Chesapeake Shores, Wayne's World doing a spoof of it, obviously, is like, even in Spinal Tap, it shows up with like bad advice. Yeah. I think a lot of people don't even, you know, like, I think you said it before where it's just like, you know, people will say like, it's just amazing what you do. Where's it come from? It's crazy. Where it comes, it's like, well, you just sit down and kind of figure it out. It's like a job. Just kind of figure it out.
I always say that to people too.
passion, desire, tenacity, and also just hours put in.
That's why I always, whenever I hear people who talk about songwriting or whatever, and you hear an interview and someone's like, "Wow, like where'd you come up with that?" And they're like, "Can't teach it." No. It's just in me. I'm like, whenever people say that to me or something about making music, it's like, wow. I'm like, no, it's like, what do you do? Like, you're an electrician or something? Like,
harder,
yeah, like if
sure.
you'd spent that time like just sitting at the piano, you could write some songs. Like, I'm sure.
I wish I was.
Obviously,
an
there's a
electrician.
certain element of natural ability.
Well, it's
in
natural
everybody,
versus technical.
Sure, but
We don't even know what
right.
that means anymore.
No, we don't. But certainly in terms of Full House and things like that, it's very misleading. Even for, I am a musician, and I think I thought it was going to be all sunshine, lollipops, puppy dogs, and roses when I was a kid.
Goddamn.
Because I watched, this is what confuses me, James. I watched that show, and Uncle Jesse, he lives with his brother.
Right.
It's his brother. He lives in his brother's basement, okay?
Nice.
In San Francisco. Somehow he has a recording studio in the basement that's super decked out, but he can't afford his own place. And then at some point
he's
in the show,
prioritizing music.
he plays,
He probably got some of that Palo Alto money.
Well, but then
He
you
probably
think
borrowed some gear
get
from
his
Steve
own
Jobs.
apartment or something.
Steve Jobs, Paul Allen, all those guys.
I guess he wants to live there to be with the kids or something. Anyway, he lives in his brother's basement or in his
Maybe that's
brother's
where
house.
his muse kind of energy is best, where he writes best.
Perhaps. But then he always plays, again, for those listening, haven't seen the show since about 95. He always plays at this place called the Smash Club in San Francisco. Which
Splash
where Jesse
Club it would be now because of the Golden State Warriors. Splash Brothers Club.
Just change the W, exactly.
Yeah, it's easy.
What, the W?
Wait.
The M. Oh, Jesus.
It's that almost works though. That's like a Nolan style W. It's backwards.
The Swish Club.
Swish Club.
So he plays there, Jesse and the Rippers. They're kind of the house band a little bit, right? Like they rock it out there most weekends. Mm-hmm. And then at one point, the Smash Club is like gonna close. Okay. It's like a really sad thing. You're kind of foreshadowing, the kind of COVID venues closing thing.
Interesting. Oh, interesting. You feel like it does foreshadow to some extent.
I don't know. Maybe. It's like this sad thing. It's like, and to him, it's like this rock and roll institution that's closing, right?
Yes, CBGB.
So what does Uncle Jesse, who lives in his brother's basement, decide to do? He buys the fucking club.
He can afford to do that.
Yeah, he buys the club and keeps it alive. And they like have this massive party and like they play, and then it's like better and bigger than ever, So it's kind of like I grew up, James, thinking like, this is great. Like, I don't even need my own place. I can live with my sister and just like have my own club, my own studio, and like do all that. And then like, pretty quick I was like, well, no, you can't do that here. Like, you're going to have to go to Vancouver and work retail for 10, 15 years and then
wait till technology becomes just computers and then you'll be able to do it.
Yeah,
but
then
you won't
you can
be able
have
to
a
afford
studio
rent by then.
at your fingertips.
Yeah. That's how I like to think of it. Having a studio. That's how I think about it. Having a computer. Having a studio at my fingertips.
Yeah. Well, GarageBand comes on the iPhone. There's an app.
It's an app.
That's
Steve
kind of funny
Lacey made his whole record, his first record. It sounds
on
awesome.
the phone. Yeah. Sure it does.
Yeah,
sure it does.
Anyway,
Anyway,
you can do it. You can do it if you want.
So I don't think, and Zack Attack in Saved by the Bell, they hit it here again. Major label. Zach, Zach, he gets pressured by the major label to go solo. You don't need these guys. You don't need them. You're the star, Zach. You're the star.
100%.
And then, that all crumbles. But I'm seeing all this stuff.
We talked about it before, like with Saved by the Bell, because we had that was a big show in England too. And those shows were really aspirational for me because I wanted to be there. Like American high school just looked so fun.
Same. I mean, we didn't have that here either.
And but always remember that episode, the drugs episode, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Jesse, another Jesse Spano.
Jesse Spano, yeah.
When she kind of
misses
gets
the whole
addicted
thing.
to
They were like
caffeine pills.
Yeah, caffeine pills to study.
Yeah.
because she wants to go to Stanford.
And she's jumping up and down on the bed, and Zach has to love her out of it. She starts
'cause
crying. She's
I
scared.
think they had some dance performance or something they were going to do too, and then she missed it because she took too many pills and just fell asleep.
And then she starts dancing on her bed in her room and kind of losing it.
Yeah, like she slept, which was good, I think. So she'd obviously stopped taking them at one point and got some rest, but I guess it was bad because she slept. She couldn't do it all.
She was scared.
Yeah, she was. She was excited and scared.
Yeah.
She was so excited.
That's kind of a place to be.
Yeah.